Assalamualaikum, this is Abdul Wakil Nazareen and I would like to welcome you to University of Business Learners and welcome back the 13th lesson of Magic of Thinking Big. And everyone is having somehow desire of leading. Everyone is having desire of leading, whether it's in an organization, whether it's in your home, or whether it's everywhere. One person wants to be a leader, wants to lead something, and wants to be a leader and ahead of, and to lead that group. But to become a leader, you need some sort of thinking, and how leaders think. When you follow all those thinking, then you become this. It's not far behind to become a leader. It's easy because it is not rocket science to become a leader, but it needs only the thinking, the strategy of thinking of a leader. How a leader think. And today's topic is our how to think like a leader. How to think like a leader. Now, how to think like a leader that will help you or build you the ability of thinking, capability of a leader. Let me remind you something. Whatever you are in this, whatever position that you have right now, it's not just because of you that you have pulled yourself over here. No. Rather than you have pulled, you have lifted. You have lifted. You have lifted by who? By you have lifted by others. By others, those who are working with you, those who are working beside you, or those who are working below you. That's because of them, if you are in this level. Achieving high level success, achieving high level success requires the support and cooperation of others. If you don't have, if you didn't have the support and cooperation, maybe you would not be in this position right now. You are. Just because of the support and the cooperation of others, yes, you are in this position. You are in this position. Gaining the support and cooperation of others. The support and cooperation of others, if you want to gain, it needs the capability or the ability of leadership. It needs the capability of leadership. I'm going to tell you the four leadership roots, or we can also say principles, that will help you or that build you your leadership skill. These are the rules that leaders follow. These are the rules that leaders want to follow. And those who follow it, and they will succeed in your life. Those who not, they remain unsuccessful. Rules number one. Leaders trade. Rule number one. Leaders trade minds with the people you want. People you want to influence. Rule number one of leader is what? Trade minds with the people you want to work. You want to influence. Now you need to trade with your minds. Number two, think. Rule number two, the principle of number two of leader is, leader think what the human way to handle this situation. What the human way to handle. Rule number three. Leaders always think progressive. They think progress. They believe in progress, and they push for progress. They push for progress. Rule number 4. Leaders, they take their time to confer with yourself alone and they start thinking and developing their super thinking. Number one, the rules number one, leaders trade minds with the people you want to influence. This point, to get others to do something what you want them to do, you must see things through their eyes. First, the very first thing that you need to think about, whatever there is, you have to think about their situation rather than yourself. Did I say that? If you want your followers, what you want them to do, to think, see every situation, everything through their eyes. Then you will better know that. Thinking of interest of the people we want to influence is the excellent thought rule in every situation. In every situation, that we must think in the interest of the people. If you start thinking and start interest of yourself, you will not be succeeded. When you think the interest of the people, you will be succeeded. Because then you will be able to influence the people. What you want them to do for you, they can easily do for you. Why? Because you address the situation, you address their situation. You just think about their interest rather than your interest. When you start thinking about their interest, that will be a sign of success. Consider other person's situation. And put yourself in that situation. That shoes of that person who is suffering from that. And remember, and speak with yourself. If I were in this situation, what would I react to this? When you close your mind, when you close your eyes, automatically all the answers will come in your mind. When you put yourself in that situation, and thinking that, and start thinking in place of that person, how you react when you were in this situation. So the rule number one is that if you want to be a leader, you need to think about interest of others rather than your own interest. Those who are thinking their own interest, they will not become a leader. Those who are thinking in the interest of others, and the people will sacrifice themselves for them. This is rule number one. Rule number two. Think, what is the human way? To handle this? Number one, each time you face difficult matter involving people, ask yourself, what is the human way to handle it? Rather than to take one side and another side, you have to think about that. What is the human way, to handle this situation? Number two, a second way to profit from be a human, rule. Let your action show. Let your action show people first. You need to give respect, give gives dignity towards subordinates. Give them respect. Give them value. Because leaders, they always, for them, their people, their subordinates, their employees, their workers first. For them, they always thinking first for them. They become happy when their subordinates, their employees, their workers happy. Because they always give first priority to the people, to their subordinates, rather than itself. Rather than to itself. The more interest you show in person, there is a rule. The more interest you show in a person, the more a person will produce for you. The more a person will produce for you, and his or her production is what carries you forward for greater and greater success. For greater and greater success. The rule is simple. The more showing your interest to people will do their effort in production. They produce you more. When they produce you more, their production will lead your organization, will lead you in greater and greater success. Rules number 3. Rules number 3, leaders always think progress, believe in progress, and push for progress. They push for progress. So in this point, there are 2 special things that you can do. You can do to develop your progressive outlets. Number 1, think improvement in everything you do. Think improvement that everything you do. Number 2, think high standard in everything you do. Number 1, think improvement everything you do, and think high standard in everything you do. Such type of leaders, they are not putting yourself in one thing. They're always thinking about your subordinates. They are thinking progress, to progress the organization. They believe in progress in subordinates. If their subordinates are qualified or they're hardworking, what are you going to do that? That leader promote them. The leader push them for promotion. Start promoting them. Why? He believe in progress. He think that if I promoted them, they will work harder. That's why he going for improvement. Everything in a standard, think a standard in everything they do. In a high standard way. Number 4, the principle, that's the last principle that leaders think. Leaders, they take time out to confer with yourself, and they start tapping your super thinking power. Their super thinking power. What does it mean that? In 4 number, the principle of become a leader, how to become influential leader. The rules that a leader to sit isolation and think about situation, clear up your mind from every restriction and distractions. They clear up their mind, all the restrictions things. They're thinking openly and sitting in a dark room for 1 hour, for 2 hours, and start thinking. In that time, they think in 2 things. They are thinking directed or undirected. In the situation they are sitting alone, they are thinking directed or undirected. When they think directed, they are thinking on a particular situation, on a particular problem, and finding out and analyzing all the factors and finding out the solution for it, and analyzing that where the problem lies. Undirected thinking, like leaders, they thinking about any sort of wish. Whatever randomly a wish comes to your mind, they start thinking about that wish. Start thinking, and he wants to, thinking about that wish, to grab that wish in your mind, to make rules, to make all the, when they start thinking about that wish and thinking that how to acquire that wish, and making a plan for that, when a silent room, with a dark room, and thinking about that with a clear mind and with a relaxed mind. With a relaxed mind. These are the 4 principles of how to think like a leader. The 4 principles that you have studied. Let me remind you again. Number 1, they always think about the people, their interest. Principle number 1, if you want to be a leader, if you want to become a leader, you need to think about people. Next, number 2, whatever situation comes, problem comes, you have to handle it like a human. See the situation, observe the situation, and then come up with a solution. Number 3, they believe in the progress, they believe in progress, and they want to promote others rather than their own self. They would not, they always share their power with others. They share their powers. They do not maintain their power, they share the power. Even they cannot take on a single decision by yourself. They take a decision with the concerning of others. The last one, if you want to be a leader, you must make yourself isolate for 1 hour, 2 hours to think about a situation, anything, with a clear mind, with a relaxed mind. That's all for today. I hope you like this video. Thanks to all of you guys.